So welcome back to another Wednesday car dealer therapy. A little bit of therapy we want to get over this week is keys, because we've had you might have heard us last week with the Skoda Karoq key, and just it sparked a little bit of debate in the comments as well, but also just with us, not debating with us, just a discussion that we've had about whether cars of a certain age would it put a customer off a car only having one key.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we both got views on this. What's your one, Dave?
Well,
what do you think?
For me, that car what we had was a 23 plate, it was a year old. If I was spending 25 grand, as much as it pains me to say, you'd want a second key.
Yeah, exactly. It's not been old enough yet to get away with the excuse of someone's left it in a drawer and just forgotten about it.
Exactly.
It's obviously gone missing somewhere in the system.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Exactly. And we've just bought another 23 plate, and that's got a missing key as well.
Yeah.
So it's so bloody annoying because when you get a car that's a year old, you can't just go to your key man. You've got to go to the main dealer.
Yeah.
And then you've got to it takes 21 days to get the flipping key here. Because you can't just get it cut. You have to go through. You have to sign some documents.
There's some
as well.
form you have to go through, isn't it, to get it? I think because it's so new, it's almost like the manufacturer's guaranteeing that, like, do you own the vehicle? Why are you buying this key?
Yeah.
All of that.
Why have you lost the key within a year?
Exactly, yeah. But then again, someone could do that, just dropping it down the drain.
You could do it the day that you have the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some good stories about that, but not necessarily losing the key, but one of the favourite things that used to be with new Clubmans was, it's got the comfort access on it. So, like when you kick your foot under the back door and it opens the boots and the doors for you, showing that off in showroom. It was 1st of March, and this couple had this brand new Mini Clubman from factory with Cooper S, midnight black, all the toys on it, like white leather interior and everything.
Yeah.
And cars sat in the middle of the showroom when we had the old showroom, because we had cars literally lined up ready to go out 1st of March in the morning. Everything's prepped. This car's sat in front of 2 others. Reese walks up to it. Yeah, it's fine. If you've got your keys in your bag and you're chucking it in boot, it's fine, because if you shut the doors, you can just kick your foot underneath and it'll open. Oh no, that's a bit time when it didn't open again. And I don't know if it were dead.
But the keys were inside.
Both keys just locked and straight in the boot. We had to send them off to like Meadowall for an hour with a £50 like food voucher. Just go and have a coffee and some lunch or whatever. While we then had to get someone from Body Shop to come down and like pry.
And they were just picking that car up,
brand new car. Yeah, nearly had to knock the building down around it because we couldn't get in it.
Then how did you get in then?
It was so what they did is, when they pull the door frame.
They put that thing that blows up.
Expands, because the key was in the car, you could press the unlock button inside.
Yeah,
so we only need to reach onto the door, and then it obviously unlocked all of it.
Yeah,
that was a fun afternoon of just watching. I'll never forget, I was sat on a desk and I watched him do it, and I saw all the confidence just like shrink out of him, and he stood there and his face just went white, and he was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
When stuff like this happens, in your head you always say, why does this just happen to me? But it doesn't, it happens.
It happens all the time, doesn't it? Yeah.
When you're just talking there, and I'm thinking of all the instances that I've had nightmare with keys.
Yeah.
There's been loads. Last year, it was absolutely pissing down outside, and I was leaving, and I had all the keys with me, and there was a hole in the bag, we have like that key roll.
Oh yeah,
And the key fell out of the hole. I seen it fall out of the hole.
Just found its way through. So
what was the chance of it finding its way through the hole? And then I was stood over a drain.
Oh fuck.
So it came out of the bag, and then I just seen it bounce, and then it just went down the drain.
It happened in slow motion, and like there's nothing I can do about this.
I was like, for fuck's sake. But there was 2 keys. Well, there wasn't. There was one after that.
Yeah.
That was it.
So it was easy to say to the customer, sorry, the one's been lost.
Exactly.
Was it genuinely had by that point?
Yeah. And it was a little story. And then another one. I don't know if anyone's done this with Ford C-Maxes. If you shut the boot, then all the car locks or something.
Yeah.
I think it's some. I can't remember what it was. I opened the boot, I had the shopping, and I thought, I'll just leave my key there. And then I got the shopping out, shut the boot, and everything was just locked.
So you did that as
And
well.
then I had to put the flipping window through, you know, and that was one day before Christmas as well. So, you know, it was like the worst time it could have happened.
But it's always like, it always happens just when you're not concentrating. And that's it.
Yeah,
It's
when
just
you're
a
not
lack of,
thinking.
or you're doing, because we get out in and out of so many different cars
Yeah.
every day. All of them start in a different way. Sometimes they have buttons on the doors, sometimes they don't. It's a key fob,
Yeah.
or it's you can walk up to it and the car will unlock or whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways of getting into a car these
Yeah, yeah.
days. That
Definitely.
these things are gonna, and I think it's not like the old days where if you lost, like, if you had a Morris Marina and you had 2 keys for it, someone could go and
Yeah.
make a clay copy of that and go and get it cut at any locksmiths
That's
in the
Yeah.
country, couldn't they? These days,
Definitely.
like, the key has to be,
Yeah.
even the key blade won't work unless you've got the,
No, it's got to be programmed
Got to
and
be
all that
programmed
stuff,
in, yeah.
hasn't it?
so that's where the fail-safe comes into it, and obviously, like, but if you lose the other key,
Yeah.
you can see where the concern sometimes might, especially with a brand new car, if it's like a year old, like those 23 plates, but like something that's even 2 or 3 years old,
Yeah.
sometimes don't even get traded back in with a new key, or the second key with it. I've had it numerous times where, like, someone's trading the car 3 years into a PCP, and they've gone, oh, has it got 2 keys? And when you sat there on the day that you sell them the car,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, it's at home in the drawer, and then they come to the day when they actually part exchange it, and they go,
Yeah.
oh well, no, actually we couldn't find it, because
Yeah.
they've got, or they've moved house and they've done something, but
Yeah.
they just can't
Yeah.
can remember where.
Yeah.
Which,
And when-
like,
When the part exchanging it, they're always like, oh, it's only got 1 key, it'll be alright. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
yeah,
And then when you're selling it to someone, oh, it's only got 1 key. Why has it only got 1 key? But I bet if they were part X in it, they'd be like,
they would.
you'd be like, oh, it's only got 1 key, done that.
Exactly, yeah.
Everybody does
Sets
the same
themselves up,
thing.
don't we? Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
sets themselves up for it. But
Yeah.
it's that thing, because when you're getting rid of it, you don't really care about it, but when you're buying it, you do.
Yeah,
And that's
so
the-
true.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but if, again, it's like, if we bought a new key for every single car that we had in stock, we go out of business.
Well, this
we can't do
is
it for
another thing
everything,
what
yeah.
someone put in the comments, I think it was this morning, he put about cam belts, and he put, I wouldn't buy, we'll have to get it up, it was something along the lines like, I wouldn't buy, you know, if you're selling a car as a car dealer,
Yeah,
you should do the cam belt, and you know what, I would love to do the cam belt on every car that was due a cam belt,
Yeah.
or not due, or coming up or whatnot.
or you knew it was imminent, sort of thing,
Yeah, but honestly, we literally won't make any money, like, because what you then have to do is put the car up £300 or £500, and that putting the car up at that £300, what difference does it make?
Not really much. No, it's that, because if you've got,
It does. It makes a lot of difference.
oh no,
If there are
doesn't
many
make- does
people
it-
buying it,
What?
if they see a car £300 more expensive, so say like a Focus.
Oh, you mean in terms of, what I thought you meant there
Yeah.
was, it makes a difference to the condition.
Oh no,
It
no,
doesn't,
no, no.
doesn't
I mean,
necessarily
like,
in the
so-
customer's mind, because all
Yeah.
they see is the price, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they say, so
Yeah.
they say price. So say
Yeah.
we put a cam belt on, and it's £300 more expensive. You could be hanging on to that car for forever,
Yeah,
just because it's £300 over what every Ford Focus with 60,000's at £5,000.
and then you end
But
up
then you-
reducing it at some point
Yeah.
anyway, so you've
Yeah.
lost that 300 quid.
So, you've got- yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a. I know it's a sticky one, cam belts.
Yeah,
Because I would love to do it on all of them. I really would.
I think this is where it comes down to, like, how far do you actually go?
Well, that's it. So the car needs a cam belt. It's only got 1 key. So there's straight away 300 quid for the cam belt, 200 quid for the key. There's 500 quid.
Yeah,
You can clearly see the margin in some of these cars. Once you've paid your auction fees, there's only like 1,200 quid left out of the sub 6-7 grand cars.
exactly, yeah.
So then you put the key on, you put the cam belt on. You've got advertised the bloody thing.
That's almost,
You
that's
know,
nearly 2/3 of your margin gone without even...
exactly. So you're
Yeah.
working for absolute. Well, you're working for nothing.
For
Just being a
being
busy fool.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's that thing that, we've had that guy who's bought that silver Ford Cougar that we've had for a while, haven't we?
Yeah.
And he asked about the cam belt on it. But reasonable thing is, we said to him, like, look, it's not due to be done, but if you want it doing as peace of mind, then we'll get you done at cost price.
Yeah.
And actually, for those customers who really do want it doing, it's been a couple in time that I've worked for you as well.
Yeah.
For the sake of £300, they will get it done.
Yeah.
And it's only really those people who are absolute sticklers over it,
Yeah.
who, if the car is overdue the Campbell, let's be honest, if we know that it's well overdue one,
Yeah.
we
do it.
probably would do it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But if it's like 10,000 miles before
Away.
it needs doing,
Yeah.
and there's no age limit, like a lot of them anymore. I think it was it Audi VW they said recently that they don't even have a age.
Oh, don't
bracket.
they?
What
It's
was that?
just
You
on
said
my-
it
yeah,
was the thing the
I
other day,
didn't
yeah.
read through it properly.
Yeah.
But
They said it doesn't go on age anymore, it goes on mileage.
yeah.
So the car could be 15 years old but have only done 50,000 miles. And if the cam belt isn't due to be changed till
Yeah.
80,000,
Yeah.
they don't advise that it needs doing. But again,
Well, that's great.
It's-
Each manufacturer is different,
exactly.
isn't it?
And it comes down to personal preference, because at the end of the day, if you want to do your, what I call preventative maintenance, and just get it done for your own peace of mind,
Yeah.
brilliant. But not every customer's going to do that. So when
Yeah.
we're protecting our bottom line,
So yeah,
we've got to
that's
think
it.
along the lines of, is the
That's
person
it.
going to want it doing? Maybe. If it's a maybe, we have to go with as a gut and go,
Yeah.
well, if they want it doing, do we
Yeah.
maybe give some goodwill towards it? Do we get them to pay it? That's when
Yeah.
it becomes the
Yeah.
the conversation you have to have at the point of sale.
Yeah.
Then, and most people are reasonable about it, so you
Yeah,
can
definitely.
get away with having that conversation.
So that's
Yeah.
why we don't change it on everyone.
No, same for keys as well. It's like
That's
some
it.
people are quite happy with a one key car, but
Definitely.
if we went along the lines of every single car's got to have 2 keys,
Yeah.
again, that's going to eat into his margin.
Yeah.
We've got to think if someone comes and they're kicking off a massive fuss about it, but if it's a 10-year-old Ford Fiesta, like that Ford Fiesta we had outside, that 08 plate, that guy we had who came to see it. And he
Oh,
was
it's
like-
on 500
and
quid.
and he went, how many keys is there? He went, just one. And his face dropped, and it's like, it's a £500 Ford Fiesta.
Yeah. And he said it was on at 500 and he went, I'll give you 480. And we were just like, oh my god.
Bus fare only.
Yeah.
That 20 quid will make all the
Yeah.
difference.
So,
Yeah.
get back to that, like, about, as well, when Chris said, oh, it's only got 1 key. It's not my fault it's only got 1
No,
key.
yeah.
It's not.
What do I always say about service history as well, when people say it, it's like, I've been busy for the last 8 years. I haven't had time to follow this car from the factory through every single owner that's
Yeah.
had along the way.
Yeah,
The only information we can give you is the information that comes with it.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's like if you buy anything second hand, say you went on eBay and you bought like, I don't know, an IKEA bookcase for instance, and it's all in parts, but some of the parts are missing.
Yeah.
Pay a little bit less for it because you know you've not got all the bits and you've got to go to IKEA to get the spares.
Exactly.
Exactly. But people don't see that with cars sometimes. It's like it's got to be complete.
And I understand because it's a high ticket item.
There is that thing, yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
But a car that's second hand that's 15 grand when it's brand new could have been 40 odd grand, couldn't it? So
Yeah.
it is still, devalued a lot, but it's still 15 grand. And then going to when you're buying a car, you can then give yourself analysis paralysis when you,
Yeah.
as a car dealer, what I mean is like, if you're not going to buy it, because I used to do this, I'm not going to buy that car because it's only got 1 key.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to buy that car because it hasn't got full service history. Or I'm not going to buy that car. Do you know what? You won't buy anything.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
You'd only ever buy
So
the stuff
then-
that's really expensive because
Yeah,
it's
and then
perfect.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Then you nothing is perfect. It's just you trying to package it as nicely as you can. Like
Yeah.
obviously getting it back and then prepping it as best as you can with as much margin in it as you can.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
it's such a psychological game. You've
you
got
are
to weigh every car up.
every single one. You're just putting chips on the table every single time,
Yeah,
aren't you?
definitely.
And you just got to see what you
Definitely.
can. It is a gamble. You just got to see what you can get
Also
back.
as well, mistake I've made so many times is a car will come in and I think, oh, bodywork's a bit, it needs like 300 quid's worth of body work on it.
Yeah.
We'll spend the 300-400 quid before doing the mechanics. And
Whereas
then,
actually it should be the other
yeah,
way around.
I think personally you should do the mechanics first,
Yeah.
all the time.
Because even with that, like, sometimes you can get a mechanically spot-on car that's just a bit rough on the bodywork.
Yes.
Because someone spent the money maintaining it, but
Yeah.
could be an older person, like I said before, who just happens to hit a wall every time that they turn into the driveway.
That's right, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with the car from a mechanical perspective, it's just got a few
Yeah.
scuffs and scrapes and marks on it.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather buy a car that's got a dent in the boot
Yeah.
that with a full wad full of service history
Yeah.
than something that's got maybe 2 or 3 services with it but is absolutely immaculate.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what's this?
Exactly.
It seems too clean for what it's hiding.
Yeah.
But that's where your
But
analysis
then,
paralysis comes in again.
yeah. And I bet a lot of traders can, oh God, what's the word? They can. This will have happened to a lot of traders. You go to the auction. It's got no history, and then you come out and you look under the chair, or you look in the boot, or you look somewhere, and you find the service book.
Yeah.
There's no
best
better
feeling in the game, innit?
in the world. There's no better feeling. You're like, yes, and it's got like, I remember a little Yaris, and I found the service book, and it's like 10 stamps at Toyota, and you're just like, yes, get in.
No one's ever, probably someone's owned it for a year and they never even knew it was there. In some cases.
That's it. Yeah, it's just been.
I've had that happen with part exchanges before, where people
Yeah.
are like, oh, it's got no service history, and then
Yeah, that's
you
it.
go in the book pack and you realise that they don't know what the service book looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then, feels it's not being dishonest with people. You're only going off of what they believe with it. But then you go, I could get this for 300 quid cheaper if I tell them that it hasn't got any service history. You have to like, depends on how much you like the customer. I think in that case, yeah.
But it's so hard. You've got, it's a. When I first started, I'd give people too much money for the cars. I'd be too nice.
Well, look at me. I've definitely fallen into that trap.
Yeah.
Getting a lot better at it now, but you've got to understand as well. Like buying a car is not a part exchange is not the be all and end all of the deal. It's great to have them come in if it's a car that we really want.
Yeah.
We do what we can to get it.
But sorry to interrupt you there. All the best part exchanges that I've ever had, are the ones. There's this saying as well: "He who cares the least."
Yeah.
When you don't want something, and the customer can sniff you out that, oh God, he don't want this. He really doesn't want it, and you're like, oh God, I really don't fancy this, and you bid them the lowest of the low because you don't care about it.
Yeah.
And then you get it, and they've got the biggest profit in it because you've bought it perfectly.
As low as possible.
Yeah, as low as possible. Where you're getting a bit giddy about something, you want it. Oh, well, yeah, I'll give you that extra 500.
Yeah, that's when you set yourself up for a fall.
Yeah, and then you've got it and then you think, oh God, there's something wrong with it, and then you're like, fucking hell, why did I give so much for that bloody Part X?
Yeah.
So he who cares the least wins.
Yeah.
Read that in Arnold Schwarzenegger's book. Him and his mate who were bodybuilders, they used to go to jobs and pretended they didn't want the jobs.
Yeah.
And then people would go to them and go, oh, but come on, we'll give you more money because,
Because we want you to stay.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that I should pretend I care less then? And then I get a pay rise?
Definitely. But no.
Everyone's
It
seen
would
that
work.
camera.
Possibly would work.
Yeah.
Possibly would work. But going back to that Focus last week, the EcoBoost one, we did not want that car at all.
No.
And we got it for buttons.
And actually turned out to be the better engine and one that, because again, we're going by EcoBoost, being as cautious as possible over it. Once you do the research into it, that 1.6, I think a few people put in the comments as well.
It's just
Cam belt driven, nothing wrong with
that's it.
Yeah,
Great.
and it went within 48 hours.
So the great thing, everyone who comes in with a 1.6 but says EcoBoost, oh no, EcoBoost, no.
Just take the EcoBoost badge off. And just tell us it's a 1.6. And
we'll give you too much for it, yeah. So that's it, yeah. He who cares the least wins. Yeah, definitely.
I suppose, again, that's probably a good mantra from a customer point of view as well, because we can sniff out those customers who just want it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and those ones
Right, this is a good question then. The worst customers, I think, are the ones where you don't get anything out of them.
Yeah.
They don't talk, and you can't work them out, and
they just close as a wall.
Yeah.
You try and build as much rapport as possible.
Yeah, common ground and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just not giving you anything.
No, you can't draw anything. It's not even like, small talk or anything like that. You just sit there and
don't want to say anything to you.
Nothing comes out of it. It's not like.
And how do you deal with that then?
Just try and remain as calm and as nice and upfront and smiley as possible. It's the only way to do it. I think you've got to be a certain kind of person to do this job. Definitely, you've got to like people. I know we moan about people a lot, but like you have got to like meeting people, and you've got to be curious about people because that's the only way to get through it. But also at the same time, like you've got to respect the boundaries of the fact that they're coming here and they might just literally see it as a business transaction. Other people see it as a big event in their life that they're buying a new car, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. And you've got as well, remember, not everyone's chatty.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I tell myself in my head.
Because we sit here and just chat for ages, especially with the right customer.
Yeah, exactly. If you get another chatty customer, it's great. You know, if you've got some common ground with them, you know, you're at the races. You know, you know, even if they don't buy it, you've had a nice time with them and they're okay.
Yeah, and they might come back again one day. They keep their eye on.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's it. But when you get the quiet customers, I think silence is strength.
Yeah.
So what you're dying to do is ask them loads of questions, trying to get them to come out of the shell. But sometimes you've just got to keep your mouth shut and you've got to think in your head, well, these people, just quiet people, not everyone's chatty, so just don't give them the salesman bollocks.
Yeah, they just want to know what they know. And that's it again, the strength that we have is no pushy sales tactics. And we don't do any of that. It comes down to literally just be open, honest, friendly when people come in.
Yeah.
That opportunity now that we have with the showroom as well, where it's like, I'm just in the office here if you need me, but have a look around the car. Go out probably after 10 minutes and go, oh, do you want a test drive and whatever. We're not like forcing them to get out for it, but it's not like give us your keys straight away, off you go, come back, what do you think, sign here. None of that. It's
I know Wayne, he worked at a car supermarket for a good, I think, 8 years. And he said there were some salesmen there where they'd see a customer come on and they'd hide behind the cars. You know, did you used to do stuff like that?
I didn't used to hide, but you know when
then they'd just pop up and they'd be like, Pete, hey up!
Yeah, you'd have to be like, go out and speak to somebody within 5 minutes of them being there or something. I can't remember what exact time it was, but someone had to agree to them. When you used to get mystery shopped on stuff, it was like...
See, I hated going to like BMW and places because you're just waiting for them. And you get that here sometimes where people come on and you can see the thing that we're going to jump on them.
Yeah, because I think it's like any other dealership.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's it. But I think the majority of dealers aren't like that anymore.
No, especially independents like us. I still think that big main dealers are, but their targets are much higher than even what we contend with and whatever. They've got a lot more money riding on it. But they've also got more people.
Do you think that works then?
No.
See, this is what like the finance chap was saying, you need to start selling more finance, you need to start promoting it more, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, but do we? Because people know if they want. You know, how can you get somebody into finance a car when you're like, interest rates are like sky high at the minute? You're definitely better off getting this car on finance.
The thing,
you know what I mean? You can't.
Back in the day, like say when they used to be offering something stupid like 2.9% on new cars, you might try and talk a cash buyer into having it.
Yeah.
Basically on the basis of like, you'll get the finance contribution. So it's like 2.9% APR, but Mini will knock you $3,000 off the asking price. So if you've got a 27 grand Cooper S, you'll get it for 24 grand just by taking the finance. But if you pay cash, you won't get that $3,000 off.
That's definitely worth it.
Then that is worth it. But then those sorts of people are like, they'll maybe have it for 12 months and then pay it off.
Yeah.
Which you don't advise people to do, but that's like, in your mind, that's probably what that customer's.
Yeah.
As long as they don't do it within a month, because then everything, you don't get your finance commission or anything on that.
Yeah.
But that's where it does work, but we don't have the benefit of anything like that. We can't say, because even the finance commission that we do get in comparison to the margin that we're getting a lot of the time is probably equal, if not just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That we can't go, but we'll give you that 500 quid back, because then what's the point in doing it in the first place?
Exactly.
It's not. It's not like the used car finance is a completely different ball game in terms of us as independents, and people know what they want to buy with. That's it. If the finance companies want more people to buy their finance, they need to be more competitive with it. That's the that's it's
I think the problem is that you've got like car finance 24/7.
Yeah. So the established big boys,
Zoto, all them now, they're just like blasting out the Google ads. They must, you put in Google, and I think
Auto Training's got deals with quite a lot of them as well.
Yeah, I think that's part of Zoto.
Yeah.
Something to do with it.
Like, but they're all in like BCA group and all of that together, aren't they? Someone will know in comments and not go straight about it. But it's that thing again. We've talked about. We're going to do a video at some point about the car dealer ecosystem and who gets their little bit of take and a little bit of give with it. And the thing is today that there's so many grabbing hands between the customer and you. By the time that you've paid everything off, that we've got to do our bit to keep ourselves afloat, but also at the same time, there's 2 or 3 other people behind us somewhere, not pecking us heads, but we know that we've got to pay Auto Trader, we've got to pay Close, we've got to do all of this in the same time as well, and it becomes that's what takes it down in the end. That's what chips away at everything.
If you could margins are slim.
Yeah, if you could again, but main dealers though, a lot of that's in house. Even if they've got like an attached finance company for the group, it's still all in house. Like they're directly in touch with them, and they won't go to like Black Horse unless they're absolutely desperate to get someone onto finance. So it's just again, but people think every other dealer operates like a main dealer.
No, that's
it, and it's convincing people otherwise.
That's it. So with us, the money's in the metal, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
That's the only problem.
I wouldn't say it's a problem though, because we know where. We know
where it's going to be, because it's not like we're not desperate to sell finance.
No, exactly. Yeah.
We're not desperate to sell paint protection and stuff like that. So for customers, I think customers coming independent's definitely a better.
Yeah.
You're going to get a better. You're not going to get raped.
No,
but don't get me wrong. My mother's bought a car she buys a Lexus every 5-6 years.
Yeah, brand new.
And the customer service in there is unbelievable.
That's where it's on a different level.
Yeah.
But that's where, from a staff point of view, it becomes tiring, because you've got to be on your top form all the time. And you do your best, but also you as a salesperson are then tied behind whatever service do that fucks up, whatever body shop do that fucks up. You've got to be the person who stands in front of the customer
I'm sorry.
explains the fuck up. Whereas at least, like we've said with us, if one of us fucks up here, we've all fucked up. And we can all take a bit of that blame somewhere, and also at the same time take a bit of the success when it happens as well. There's no one kind of like patting you on the back all the time going, well done for covering up my mistake, when you're like, no, you should be stood here telling them telling them why it's gone wrong.
It's stressful working in that environment.
Oh god, I enjoyed it, but this is better, so much better, because you're in charge of your own destiny, aren't you? That's the main bit with it. This is definite therapy now. We've gone
on a right tangent.
We have, haven't we?
So about 2 keys, and now we've just went away.
One key wankers to...
One key wankers, yeah.
We don't call everyone that, don't we?
That's good, mate. I'm glad that you're feeling like this is a therapy session and you're getting stuff off you.
Thank you. Again,
because I'm the boss though, you've got to say you enjoy it here.
Yeah, I have.
But
if I blink twice, it means I need help.
But so that's a good little therapy session, that.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
I'm going to say, I think that wraps it up for this week. Any suggestions or ideas? We've got loads that we want to work through, but any suggestions or ideas or questions that people have got, as usual, just pop them in the comments. We do read every single one. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.